everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Valentine. I am a priestess, death midwife, witch, and medium. Today I just wanted to do something simple, something a little bit cozy, chatty, kind of long probably, you know me. I can be a chatty Cathy. And towards the end I was thinking we could have a little mini witchy haul that relates to what we're going to be talking about today. I am currently doing a self-imposed 30-day challenge. The 30-day challenge is meant to build a habit for me, not that I plan on giving it up after the 30 days, but I wanted to really set my priorities to maintain this 30-day practice and be as consistent as I possibly can to form habits. And this 30-day challenge that I'm doing is I am going to be implementing my mentor's daily practice into my own life. And this is something that she had me doing during our mentorship that I saw substantial growth from. Some of the things I'm very familiar with and I've already did. One of them in particular, I always kind of wanted to do, but didn't. And we'll get deeper into that. So first I want to give a little bit of background to my mentor. I didn't talk about her in my last video because I hadn't had the mentorship with her yet. Besides becoming a death doula and death midwife under Olivia Bearham's tutelage, the only person that I've had a mentorship with this year is Racine. You know, I took a lot of mentorships last year and I loved them all, but this year, my two mentors, Olivia and Racine, the amount of growth that I had. And so I really want to shine a light on Racine today. I feel like I should preface this because I'm going to get deeper into our mentorship and our journey. And I want to encourage people to go to these mentors that I've had, right? Like they've all been amazing. You know, Sterling Moon did the mediumship that I mentioned in the last video where I went to the seance, and she's phenomenal. She is the in-house tarot reader of Ritual Craft. That's how I knew about her, and I've been following her for years. And she's amazing. I highly trust her. I advocate to go work with her 100%. Olivia Bearham, if you are interested in death midwife, death doula work, she is a special soul. The amount of compassion, empathy, and wisdom that woman has is unbelievable. Decades of experience working with the dying, running a funeral home, and the logistics and the legalities. So her institute is called Sacred Crossings. That's where I went to school. And then now Raecine, okay? Raecine, who has a YouTube channel, owlmoon513. She's been a professional tarot reader for like 20 years. She has amazing skills when it comes to like past lives, talking to your guides, her perception of energetics and how she translates energetics and essences comes with practice. It comes with full immersion. She speaks fluently to spirit. You can tell just watching one of her videos on YouTube. You should just listen to her talk about a tarot deck and you will know like she understands frequencies and subtle energies. So honored that I am part of her lineage now, honestly. To preface my point, that even though I have this amazing connection and I'm really like hyping up these people, I at the same time want to stress I got out so much from working with them because I put in so much. I put in so much, like blood, sweat, and tears literally went into my work. I am someone who excels in like an academic setting. I am someone who does well in that. I'm someone who, if you say something to me, I'll retain it. I don't have to see like physical examples, right? So I don't want you to like go to one of these teachers that I loved and had such a profound experience with and be like, Valentine had an amazing experience, I'm gonna have an amazing experience. What I'm trying to get at is I know what's good for you. If you are someone who needs hands-on experience and training in person, maybe these online teachers aren't the best, and maybe try to find a mentor in person. My needs were met. I guess that's the point I just wanted to make really quickly. So I'm gonna be hyping Racine up real hard. I also don't want to put like weird pressure on Olivia Sterling and Racine, because I'm like, they're amazing and life changing and foundation changing, which they are for me. We're all adults here, right? So you know how to take what resonates with you. You know how to discern what is best for you. So now I've got that preface out of the way, I would like to go ahead and give Racine her flowers. This mentor is extremely dear to my heart, like I said, for all of the reasons above. Our time together completely impacted the belief that I had in myself, really anchored and affirmed the path that I was already walking. I don't even know if she is aware how much she impacted me and my practice. Specifically, the belief in myself, my commitment to the path. So again, even with like Olivia, how she teaches and how we like hold space for the dying, right? People transitioning. We hold space. That to me is honestly what a huge component of being a priestess is holding space and anchoring for others to allow them the freedom, security, belief, and confidence to connect. That's exactly what Racine did for me for my priestess path. As like she likes to say, as a sister, she held and anchored so much sacred space for me. She gave me tools, and she gave my path and my experiences respect and support. That's the best type of priestess that you could ask for. She really allowed me to flourish in the directions that I wanted to. And she was so good at being receptive to minute things that I would say and addressing them and giving them enough focus, honor, time. She's amazing. So if any of you guys are in the tarot sphere or like the tarot tube, tarot YouTube, then you probably know the name that I'm saying. You're probably like, oh man, I know a tarot YouTuber by that name. And that is, because Racine has a channel on YouTube, and that's how I found her back in 2013, all because of this precious little tarot deck right here. The TOV, the Tarot of Vampires. I was obsessed with this deck. Bought this deck in like 2010. It is my second tarot deck ever. It's crazy that I've had this deck for that long. Like, I've had this deck for that long. Yeah, my first ever tarot deck was the Celtic Dragons Tarot by DJ Conway, but that wasn't even my first deck. My first deck was technically an Oracle deck. It was Brian Froud's Fairy Oracle, and I got that when I was like 10 years old. Then I got DJ Conway's Tarot when I was like 10, 11. Then I got the Vampire Tarot by Ian Daniels in 2010. So I was like 20 years old when I got this deck. And that's crazy. That's what, 15 years ago. Oh my goodness. What is time? I love this deck so much. If you guys aren't familiar, people talk about soul decks, right? Like, you just connect instantly. And it was only magnified by the book. The book, I think, is an absolute treasure. It's pretty commonly touted in a lot of tarot worlds these days as being one of the top tarot books you could ever fucking read, honestly. At the time, though, I feel like this was it was underappreciated. So purchasing the Tarot of Vampires deck, I think, is the stepping stone to what made me explore tarot at a much more deeper way. It came at just the right time. I do believe that decks find you at the right time, and I feel like decks are more impactful for you during certain moments in your journey. That was this deck for me. But yeah, so I wanted to find someone who had this like deep soul connection with this deck, and when I say I found someone who also shared that deep soul connection with this deck, I might have found someone who at the time was more in love with this deck than I was. And I think having Racine be so passionate about something I was passionate about, it was just so nice. It's easy to forget, or if you didn't do witchcraft or weren't interested in any of these topics back when social media really wasn't a thing. It's just a completely different world. Remember going to like bookstores and looking down the aisles and seeing if anybody was in the witchcraft section. If they were, I'd walk around a little bit. Like then I'd come back and see if nobody was there. And if nobody was there, I'd go and I'd grab a bunch of books, and then I would go and sit in a different section with my witchcraft book. My mom also, I think, kind of had something to do with it. My mom grew up in a completely different time. She was terrified of what people would think of you for doing witchcraft or being interested in the occult. My mom got fired from a job because of it. I had a witch hunt at my school because of it. Like, times are so different in some ways, not completely, but yes. So what I'm trying to get at is when I found Racine and her passion for this deck, and I was like, alone in my 20s, barely a 20, it just meant the world to me. So it is upon my obsession with the Tarot of Vampires deck that I discovered the beautiful and enigmatic Racine, and I've been following her channel ever since. As I get older, I feel like can see what I'm drawn to, like why I am drawn to something or someone in particular. There are certain people that you meet in life. If you are someone who's energetic and you're picking up on these people's energetics, which is what I mean when I say take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't behind, okay? If number one tip, if you're new and you're interested in this, is learn energy signatures. Feel it in your body, feel it, know it in your mind, like pick up on these subtle cues and be like, you know what, that hits a chord differently. And that's what I'm saying. As I've gotten older, it's just become so much easier to see, oh, okay, Racine and I have that same base. That is how I view Racine, and that is why in the end, I think I was meant to have her as my mentor. My witch path has been so steeped in dark, divine feminine, sacred feminine. The amount of personal fulfillment in our practice that comes from working with our gods is also the same. And that has been so hard for me to find. When I was done with my death doula training and my mom was gone, I went so deep and so within, heard my gods and felt my guides. Just know at my core that my gods are so important to me. And when I decided to find that mentor for my tarot to really deepen and hone my craft, I just immediately thought of Racine. I saw that she had an Etsy and clicked on it. Saw that she offered tarot readings, which I was like, you know what? At least I can get a tarot reading from her. I saw that she offered a beginner mentorship for beginner tarot students, and I looked into it and I was like, this really doesn't fit me. I'm not a beginner. I don't need to learn like the basics. I continued to kind of like stalk her Etsy for a while. And then suddenly there was like a new offering that popped up, and it was an intermediate mentorship with tarot. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and try this. I'm going to do it. And I ended up buying like a workshop that and something else. Like I just wanted to immerse. It's all I wanted to breathe and think about. And I think I needed to throw myself into something after my mom passed. Anyways, so she wrote me back and we were like, let's go ahead and start on this date. And I paid for that completely with all of my money. There was no scholarships like in my last video. I got every cent, if not more. She is so generous with her advice. I'm sure she would attest to this, but our mentorship really strayed off the beaten path. It went onto a red path. It was a personalized, intuitively created mentorship for 7 weeks. The introspection that I had, my daily practice that I was implementing, I carried it on after the mentorship, and it's just truly affected and changed my self-belief specifically. I had an amazing God step forward, and he has made himself still so known. Like, he is so a part of my life now. I'm sure he would have made himself known eventually, but I think that this mentorship really allowed him to come forward with strength and just really announce himself in my life. He explored myself, my past lives, my meditations, witch flights, journey work. I have the most gorgeous grimoire of our experience together now, and it's just something that I look at and read, and I loved it. I ate up every second of that mentorship. And at the end, I had the most beautiful initiation. And Racine held space for me during that process. My dearest Racine, if you are watching this video, I would like to take the time to completely and fully, with all of my heart, thank you so, so much. I have immense gratitude, love, respect, and admiration for you and your work. It is inspiring. So since that mentorship, I have moved. I don't know if y'all, it was a nightmare. It was pretty stressful. It was pretty not that great. With all of that, there were some things going on with Kitty Wino, my cat. We're all good. Everything is good. So please don't worry about me. But now that things have finally settled and I'm getting into like a rhythm, I've been letting a lot of what I was doing during that mentorship, that daily practice that I had, has kind of slipped to the wayside, which is fine. I'm not going to berate myself for that, right? Like, I was going through a lot. Buying a house is crazy. We're first-time homeowners. This is insane. I've never done this before. That last house that we lived in, we were renting from my brother and my mom. And when my mom passed, my brother wanted to have his house back, which makes sense, right? And his kids are 10 minutes down the road, my niece and my nephew. So he wanted that home, and my husband and I were like, okay, cool. What do we do? So it was a very liminal time for me. It's finally at a place where I feel like, okay, I can breathe. I'm good. Let's get back on track. Let's focus on all this shit that I've been working on, okay? Like, I've been working on stuff for so long. Like, I would say over a year, I've had things brewing and boiling and bubbling, and it's ready to be birthed. Because my practice has kind of slipped to the wayside, I've decided to implement this 30-day challenge really to get back into the groove of things. This is Racine's daily routine as a priestess. And she has a video where she goes over all of this. And I'm going to link in the description her video, because she goes over 3 different tarot spreads and questions, and she gives great examples as to what her practice looks like. I'm not going to go that much in depth. So the first thing that Racine encourages and that she does, and she says this on her channel, you know, she's like, I do this daily because she is a priestess. And that's exactly my whole point, is I am living this. This is my path. This is what I'm committing my life to, essentially. For me, I'm doing it because I need to maintain that connection. I need to maintain my connection with myself, with my guides, my divine essence, my gods. I need to be checking in. It's very much a muscle that I need to strengthen. Even when I did the seance with Sterling, there was a moment where after the seance, I talked to Sterling and I was just like, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand how I got so nervous. I told you guys that I called my mom and I was like, I need help with protection, which is fucking weird for me. That's probably my best, strongest magic right there, is protection magic. At the seance, I was kind of taken aback by how unprotected I felt. And so I talked to Sterling and I felt like, you know, I was letting her know, I was like, hey, you know, I feel like I really struggled with things that are second nature to me at this point. And I asked Sterling, why was it so hard? Like, was it spirits? Like, what was causing that friction for me to feel safe and protected? And she brought something up that I never thought about. And she was like, you know, witchcraft and psychic abilities, we all have the capacity, but it's a muscle. Some of us are born with stronger muscles in that department than others. But if we work it out, it will bulk up and it becomes easier. Then she said, but even if you're really athletic, right? Like say you're a volleyball player. I played volleyball, so this is why I'm going with that analogy. Playing volleyball on a court is if you're playing volleyball on a court all the time, your muscles are strong, they're sturdy, reflexes, like you've got that. That is your home court, right? Playing at someone else's court, things don't go as well, right? Because you're in a different environment. You don't feel as comfortable. Things are a little bit, that muscle memory isn't working as well. But if you continue to do it in other people's courts, you start getting comfortable again. And it might take you a little bit to warm up, but you eventually get back to it. Now say you play volleyball on the beach. Do you think your muscles were ready for that difference in foundation, that difference in the ground, right? Fuck no. I can play volleyball, or I used to play volleyball on a court, easy fucking peasy. You asked me to play volleyball on the beach? I looked like I didn't know what I was doing at all. It was horrible. It hurt. And it was really hard. So that's what essentially Sterling was saying. Yeah, you're really great at protection when you're at your house and you're comfy, right? How many times have you gone to a Victorian mansion in Colorado that you've never been to before, did a full-blown seance with spirits and energy with 13 women you don't know, and had to exercise those muscles? That makes so much sense. What I learned was invaluable. So what the fuck was I talking about? Why am I talking about that? What was I saying? Anywho, so like I was saying, Racine's the first thing she does is draw tarot every day. God, I am just the worst at staying on topic. So the first thing that Racine does in her daily practice has a daily draw where she draws at least one card. 1 to 3 cards is typically average for a daily draw. It can be one card and you're like, what do I need to know about today? Or what's the theme of my day? Or how should I approach this day? What type of archetypal energy should I bring to my day? Or it could be at the end of the day. If I could see a card that represented the energy of today, what would that be? And that's really good for beginners, right? Because then you can see that card, you get the 7 of Cups, and then you think about your day and you're like, how the fuck was that like the 7 of Cups? And that's a way to learn the tarot. But honestly, daily draws can do a lot to help you make personal connections to the cards that you can then relate to other readings that you have in the future. I am not so much of a 1 card kind of gal. I'm at least a 3 card kind of gal. And because my cards and myself are pretty chatty, 6 cards will come out when I mean to do a 3 card. I have cards that fly at me, okay? And Racine on her channel, she gives amazing examples of I think she gives 3 different examples of a 3 card spread and the types of questions that she would ask. And like I said, it'll be down in the description to watch her channel because it's a really great video. Highly recommend. She gives great beginner advice, intermediate advice, crone advice on a regular day-to-day. I'm not doing every day, whereas I was with the mentorship. So that's something that I definitely want to do. I honestly see so much value in it. The next part of her daily praxis or practice is journaling. And that is not just journaling the reading that you got, but going deeper than that, asking yourself deep questions about the reading that you got and trying to expand upon the cards. The Woodland Wardens deck, I love this fucking deck. This deck it's an oracle deck. There are journal prompts with each card that you get. So if you don't know what to journal and expand upon, decks that have those little journal prompts for you make it 10 times easier. This is the one that I've been saying that I am not a natural journaler. It is something that I've always admired. It's something that I've always wanted to be, and I want to be. I want to be a journaler so bad. But it's just not easy for me. It's really not. And so when I did that mentorship with Racine, she's so pro journaling. I can see the positive effects when I was in the mentorship with her and I was journaling every day. I also feel like I developed automatic writing. I feel like there were times where I was expanding upon the readings that she'd have me do for like my homework, and I would just start knowing more information. The more I wrote, the more I was just like fluidly expelling from the pen. My gods or messages were coming through. Looking back at, I keep looking up at it, I can see it right there. Like looking up at my grimoire, the more I read it and like look back, the more I'm like, dude, you really experienced a lot through this journaling process. That is what I want to try to ingrain. Hopefully you'll get into a groove of things like I noticed with me, and some more will come out and reveal itself to you. And then the last part of her beautiful practice is meditation. By meditation, for me, I take that as either meditation such as quieting the mind, which is focusing on breathing, or trying to have no thoughts, creating a total blank space in your mind. That's a form of meditation. Another form that I mostly do is either witch flight or journey work. I do a lot of journey work. Go to your inner temple, or you create spirit rooms, go to your sacred spaces and meet your gods. Some people consider it astral travel. I feel astral travel is very specific though. I've got a specific definition for it. Some people do guided meditations. That's kind of like a very beginner friendly kind of thing. So guided meditations, there's a lot of them on YouTube. Those are the three things that she does: a daily draw, journal, and meditation. And they can be done in the morning. They can be two done in the morning, one at night. That's typically what I do. Is I tend to meditate at night. I also will be journaling my meditation. It's very important to document, even if you're not like trying to expand upon and question and do introspection. Just make sure that you're documenting the messages that you get. That will build and paint pictures and personal languages as you go. I'm already over a week in to this whole 30-day challenge. This is my 4th time filming this video, so hopefully, fingers crossed, this one makes it. The last 2 times that I filmed this, one of them you can't hear me because the audio just stopped working. The last one, when I looked fine on my viewfinder, but when I uploaded it to my computer, I was a blur. You could hear me well, but I was just completely blurred out the entire time. Pretty hard time getting this video out. So I'm hoping that this video is finally out, and I am like 12 days into the challenge. So that is it, you guys. That's all I've got for you. Let me know if y'all are going to be doing this too. And if you are, I would love to know about it. Again, please watch Racine's video and say, Valentine sent me here. You don't have to do that. Thank you guys for being with me for my long ass chatty videos. So excited to be back. I'm so excited for Yule. It's just been fun. So I don't know. I'm excited. Let me know if you guys are excited for Yule and if y'all have any plans for the holiday season. All right, you guys. I adore you all so much. Thank you for being here, and I hope you guys are happy, cozy, safe, and having a beautiful evening. Bye.